Welcome back to the Oracle Scroll. Today, we're looking at redemption. Hi, I'm Kevin Walder, your host for the Oracle Scroll. And as we continue our little journey through this deck, I am up to card number 31, Redemption. Now, redemption. Redemption, we talk about forgiveness a lot in the spiritual community, but redemption is a precursor to forgiveness. At least it should be. Redemption calls upon the person who perhaps has wronged us in some way or shape or form to redeem themselves, to actually make amends for their actions. Redemption is a process of bringing about a full recovery, understanding that the aggrieved party has been injured in some way and making amends to correct that injury. Only then can redemption occur. So, can we offer redemption to someone else? Not really. It is something they must offer themselves. It's something they must work at themselves. And then you will know who deserves your forgiveness. And yes, forgiveness, sometimes we talk about it as being something that we can just pass out willy-nilly and it's just fine. But that's really not going to help us to grow. It's not going to help us to mature spiritually, mentally, any other way. Redemption, however, will. When someone who has committed a grievous act will step forward and admit that they were careless at least, or maybe willfully they committed the act. But step forward and admit the source of it, and admit where they have been, where their mind was, what were they thinking, why did they accomplish such a mess. And then they begin to make amends, make atonement for their actions. At that point, then forgiveness can be genuinely offered. We're not just doing it unilaterally. We are actually engaging the aid and assistance of those who may have wronged us in some way. Redemption is that process. It's kind of a process of paying off a debt. It's a process of making a payment toward your reconciling your differences. That is the general meaning of redemption. Now, is there anything we can do to assist others in doing that very thing? In actually participating in their own redemption? Yes, we can encourage, but we also need to make it very clear and very plain that what they've done is not excusable. You can't just walk away from something that was so hurtful. So we need to make it very clear that some effort on their part is actually necessary in order to begin the process of healing. And redemption is that first step. Redemption is something that you can offer yourself. And let's face it, we all have some issues and some instances in our past where we haven't owned up, and we really need to do so. So our homework with this card is think about those areas where you might have been the offender, where you might have said or done or acted in a way that damaged or injured someone else on some level, whatever it may be. And how would you then go about making amends? How would you go about redeeming yourself in that situation? You would expect it, you would hope that you would be valuable enough to the people around you that they would engage in that exercise themselves. But turn that mirror around and look at yourself first. As the saying goes, you know, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And I don't quote that very often, but anyway, you understand my point. Let's look at how we can redeem ourselves. Then we can rightfully expect that forgiveness should be forthcoming. Now, this is card number 31, which is a 4. Oh boy, and that's appropriate too. Numerologically, 4s are sometimes referred to as the nostalgia card. It's kind of a looking back and appreciating where you've been and appreciating how the lessons of your life have changed you and how they may have directed you in a different way. You may have to adjust your goals. You may have to adjust your route to your goals. But you may have to do some things that also require you to make amends, to go back to those people that may have been aggrieved in some way, may have been injured in some way, and let them know that you recognize what you did. You may not even have a good reason or a good excuse for having done what you did, and that's okay. At least acknowledging where you were and acknowledging your participation is a big step. And then taking that next step of making amends and helping that person feel whole once again. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Oracle Scroll. Please visit my website at kevinwalder.com, where you can purchase any of the services that I offer. Also, check out my books, Tarot for Lunch, Lessons from the Cards, and 22 Teachers, Healing Lessons from the Major Arcana. Both are available now at amazon.com. And most importantly, never miss another episode. Click below, click the subscribe button and the bell to make sure you're always up to date.